again, this is Superworld. This is the homepage that you get to. We're at superworldapp.com. Very clearly, make the world yours is a subtitle there. So that's what we're all about. You can kind of get an understanding of Superworld. What it is. Again, we've divided up the world corresponding to real world space, and you can buy and own the land and then monetize activity. Kind of shows you our mobile application. So look at some NFT art and other things. So this is just kind of our homepage, but when you walk through and enter into the map of Superworld, which I'm doing now, you get right into the map and you're able to see any place in the world. And in this case, we're in Manhattan, so I can kind of zoom in on the map. And if you see those shaded in blocks, there's a legend on the left here. And this shows you, for example, in Manhattan, what's owned, what's available. So any place here that's grayed in is already purchased. So you can make an offer on any place that's already bought, right? And again, those properties that are grayed in, those aren't currently being resold; those are being held by their owners. But you can make an offer on any property, and then the ones in green, if you see here, you can click on those as well. Those are the ones that are being resold, right? So you can see this one, again, is being sold at 0.2 ETH. But again, every property, depending on what the owner wants to buy it or sell it for, it could be different. This property is being sold for 100 ETH, right? Again, when you buy a property, you determine the selling price. You can get offers at any price and determine if you want to resell at that price. But if you price a property and list it, someone can automatically buy at that price. And then on the bottom left, we have what's called an NFT view and an AR view. So you can, again, create NFTs and place them in real world locations on the map. So this was a popular NFT that was created for, the Ukraine invasion that had occurred. So we had artists selling NFTs to raise money for Ukraine. We have an AR view, which also shows, augmented reality content placed in real world locations. So you can walk down the street and, create content as an example, something.
Oh, that's cool. For the audience, we are looking at what is a real world camera with a drawing in the real world in augmented reality, which is really cool.
Exactly. So you can create content and place it anywhere. This is an example of someone who created this is actually a real physical pod that this owner rents, and so you can buy these pods, and he's placed
Okay.
them around the world, and you can click buy those as an NFT, and then you can rent the real pod. But the idea here is that you can place content in AR, VR, and you can also create content in any of those mediums: AR, VR, 3D, 2D, audio, and create those as NFTs. Here's another piece of content that was placed in, again, for the Ukraine invasion. This was placed right at the UN building in the United Nations. And the thing to realize is that if you're in these locations, you can pull out your phone and see the content that's been placed on the map in real
That's
world
when the mobile
location.
app would come in handy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where the mobile app. And then the thing that we're now doing is we're adding events onto the map, right? So you can go to events and you can, again, this is the events filter. And so we'll just stay in New York since we're already here, but you can click in, a city, I've picked New York, and you can see, events that are happening or have, in this case, that one I clicked on has happened, but you can click on events and see those events. You can click on the event type, price, date, and so what we're trying to do here is create a way to discover what's happening around you, whether it's an event whether it is a piece of content that unlocks something that's happening at a retail location, whether it's, me seeing an artist's work and being involved in some kind of gallery or some kind of festival. The opportunity here is for us to be able to, again, make it really easy for anyone now that they own real estate. Ostensibly, they don't have to buy real estate. To be clear, you could just start creating content in Superworld. But the real estate is an easy way for me to now understand ownership of digital assets. It's a way of, basically becoming a stakeholder on the platform, because now you own part of Superworld. But our focus is, how do we make it really easy for you to add content and then visualize content in these real world locations? So that's what I showed you, is the map interface.